Have you ever watched something that is so beautifully tragic that you... Wait. God damn! Look at that boy's neck! Mans can't even drink milk because it expires by the time it hits his stomach. Sheesh! Where was I? Oh yeah, a whale's vagina. No, different video. Dance Dance Daneur. First, I want to say that is probably not how it's pronounced, but I'm going to butcher that all video. Get used to it. Now, what I want to say is this is not a perfect anime. It has cringy parts and the MC can be a bit brash, but to be fair, it suits his character for the role he plays and the facade forced upon him. I personally gave it a 9 on Mal, and honestly, MAPPA murdered the adaptation. They really did their thing. The animation choices help enforce the meaning or atmosphere of important parts. The art can be a little weird to some, but doesn't personally bother me because it makes it unique. And I truly believe the long extremities of the characters are a choice to help highlight the moves of classical ballet. Some of those cringy parts I mentioned are when they start doing a routine and out of nowhere they basically start fighting but with their ballet. And towards the end I kind of gained an appreciation for it and understood the whole meaning of what they were trying to express in that moment. There's also the issue of the subject matter. Some people won't watch a series on a subject matter they aren't into, but you should take a leap every once in a while. You're missing out on good series, plus great storytelling will get you involved no matter what the characters are doing. For instance, if you don't like figure skating, you should still check out Yuri on Ice. Now, there will be no spoilers in this, so please stay for the whole video. Like, subscribe, and comment, help the channel out and myself as well. Feedback means a lot to me. It helps me center focus on things I may not notice. And I won't be reviewing this series as a whole. I'm just here to sell you on a beautiful series that you may not normally check out. Now, there were some bangers this spring, but this and Kaguya-sama have been the best in my eyes. But Dance Dance Daneur doesn't get the notoriety it deserves. I'll break down certain aspects of the series that spoke to me, and I think those few points are strong enough on their own to hopefully get you to watch the first 3 to 5 episodes. It's only an 11 episode season, so it isn't a time demanding series. I will touch on the characters, a few of the themes, and the way it wraps the season up, and remember, no spoilers. Truthfully, the characters individually aren't really stunning. They aren't necessarily bad though. Well, there's this asshole. But it's the relationships between themselves and how they fit into each other's ideal of dancing. Luau is maybe the standout character. Each of them fits into varying degrees of being a dancer, and we'll start with taking a look at our main character, Junpei. No, not him. Alright, this Junpei. He's a naturally gifted young man that forced himself to hide his love for dancing because at an early age he thought he had to do manly things. We've all been there before as a child where our friends or other kids we are around think something is uncool and we just agree. That is something that even though it's still wrong, it's more acceptable for a child to follow that logic because kids are impressionable and it happens to everyone at least to some extent in their life. But the issue is Junpei goes through middle school at this point, still allowing himself to be swayed by others' opinions of himself. I think this speaks to a lot of people still, which is unfortunate, but that is the first main theme the story tackles. Seeing Junpei be honest with who he is and what he loves changes him into a different character within the first 4 episodes. Instant character development is rare, but he is a good example of that. Miyako. Now, my feelings for her at this point are difficult. I don't hate her or her actions at the end of season 1 because I get it. I think she's a middle schooler who made an adult woman's choice based on what is best for everyone else but her own. That is part of the beautiful tragedy I spoke on earlier. She isn't the sole reason, but she is a big part of how Junpei actually got into ballet and started it. She is a sweet girl who cares for people, maybe to a fault, but she doesn't annoy me like some of the wholesome anime girls. I believe that's because the decisions she chooses throughout the entire episode run actually give her depth and layers. She just doesn't feel overly wholesome to try and be all cutesy. Going back to Luau, he is the best dancer we see throughout the season, but it isn't because he is naturally gifted. No, Luau was forced to learn classical ballet. His grandma used extreme tactics to increase his flexibility and literally beat the basics into him. I mean, wouldn't that make him resent ballet? I asked that myself, but he loves it still, even if it's because that's the thing that validates his existence. Luau does have issues with what happened with his mother. That's how he ended up living with grandma. But one of the biggest issues surrounding his mom, it isn't even about her. It's the fact that grandma will only acknowledge Luau by his mother's name. That will erase any kid's sense of self, so you can imagine how tough his life was. But that doesn't stop him from caring about his grandma. Even though she will only call him his mother's name, she at least recognizes his beauty as a dancer. Even if it's by the wrong name, it validates him and his art. But even he has a cracking point. Now, I don't want to go too far into this story because there's more, but the last thing I want to say is his bond with Miyako. They aren't technically cousins, by the way, but she was there to be the princess in his life when he was small. He viewed her as the light to cast away even if only a little bit of the darkness. She is vastly important to him. His rivalry and budding friendship with Junpei is a whole nother thing, but you will have to go watch to see exactly how all that plays out. It seemed as if the three main casts were going to follow suit with most school-based anime. They are all dealing with their own individual issues, but with each other they can get through it. But no, the mangaka had other plans. There is a tectonic shift in the normalcy of that friendship trope, and episode 11 seals the outcome I didn't see coming. Besides the ending, the thing I truly enjoyed was how it tackled the themes it took aim at. The first two themes get handled by like episode 4 and they're done pretty well. Being true to who you are and what you love is a common theme, but it's done right. At first, Junpei is a little frustrating, but I think that's just to show the stubbornness of his character to put on that facade to be popular and people to like him. But when he does overcome that by Luau's bravery to stand up to his bullies and be true to himself and have the confidence to do ballet in front of everyone to shut him up, that lit a spark in Junpei to finally be real with himself and everyone else no matter what they thought. He realizes that facade is only giving him surface level happiness. No one can make you love yourself. It's on you to allow yourself to love who you are. And it starts with just being true to yourself. And we see a completely different character from that point forward. He really does grow as a character. From that to the difference between hard work versus talent, to how far will you go to achieve your dreams. All these themes are done and done well. The writing flushes them out and leaves enough for you to look inward even further, or just take it at face value and still be solid. Now the last episode. It does take the viewer to think a little deeper about what is really happening. It's not that the meaning is hidden, but the decision as made isn't as surface level as it's made to be. That one decision decides 3 middle schoolers' life trajectories. One is remaining stagnant in order to help someone else push forward. The other shed off everything and starting anew. The last one runs without looking back on feelings they are leaving behind in order to chase a dream. I'm trying to allude to certain things without spoiling the whole ending, although I'm sure you're getting what I'm putting down. And watching up to episode 10, I was pretty sure that I thought I knew what was going to happen. But the first 7 minutes of that final episode shot that theory to shit. As one looks at the footprints in the sand, they realize the person that ran out of their life, not only because of their decision, but the person that actually ran away also made a decision not to stay and fight for something that was real to them. And maybe it's because the thing they ran to might have just meant that much more. It doesn't seem as deep as it truly is because the progression of the episode sends it off on a positive and fun note. And maybe that's the point. Maybe it is positive for all parties involved. I hope we get a season 2 to flush it out more. And if we don't, I'll just pick up the manga. But if I hear about a sequel, I'd rather wait for MAPPA's adaptation. Don't let this series being about ballet or the character art stop you from watching this. Take a chance and watch something you normally wouldn't. Watch a kid who shouldn't do ballet from his peers' perspective and isn't accepted by the ballet crowd defy everyone with his princely style of dancing. Actions speak louder than words, so I'm just going to let this play out as I do my intro. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay normie, stay weeb, shit even in between is fine. Until next time, peace.